This computer. Right, so welcome everybody, and thank you so much for joining our Team Aquila business opportunity with the Juice Plus company. Thank you very much for your time. I am really excited about doing this call. I mean, technology is fantastic. We used to do these by putting on meetings, and now it is so easy for us all to sit in the comfort of our own homes and be able to experience this all together. So I'll just introduce myself. I'm Michelle Johns and I'm the host for this evening. So it's my pleasure to introduce our presenter and a few of our very own team. And they're going to share their excitement within the company. But just to give you a little bit of background information about myself, I started with the Juice Plus company over 16 years ago. So my background was health and beauty therapy. And for me, it was understanding what the Juice Plus products were and how it would impact my clients as beauty from the inside out. So I was very aware that, it's really what we put into ourselves reflects on the outside. So the products made sense to me instantly. And then really getting to understand the business model and the power and the beauty of network marketing, because working in my traditional business, as much as I loved it and I really did enjoy working with my clients and working hands-on, what I didn't have was time freedom. And I know a lot of people, when you run your own business, it's, it is a real challenge to even get a week off from work because, you've got a client, an appointment book of clients that you really need to fit in. So understanding this business really, really changed my life. And, 16 years on, I am so, so grateful for it because, we're now living down in Portugal, we're living our dream, but still being able to work our business, which is really important to us. So that's a little bit about me. I'm very excited to have Charlie Johns on the call because when I was at my first Juice Plus meeting, one of the things that I was excited about was to be able to give Charlie Juice Plus because I had a typical 2-year-old who really didn't want to eat green and healthy fruits and vegetables. So Juice Plus was going to really make a big difference to him. It made a huge difference to my clients and to myself, to our whole health. And the exciting thing now is that Charlie is my son and he's joined the business and he's relatively new to the business, but he chose to take a gap year so that he could build his Juice Plus business. So I'm going to invite Charlie to unmute himself and join us because really, Charlie, I'm going to ask you to share with everybody what it was about the Juice Plus business that A, you wanted to join, and B, why did you choose to take the gap year to build your Juice Plus business before going to university?
Okay, hey everyone. I just want to apologise in advance if there's any background noise at all. I got kind of caught out in the busiest city in the world. But yeah, so I am incredibly excited by this opportunity. As Mum just said, I'm on a gap year before I go to uni. And obviously growing up around the business through my parents, I've actually been taking the product for 16 years now, which is something I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful for. And just because in that time I've only been ill once, which is frankly incredible, and I can only put that down to the Juice Plus products. And being able to see firsthand through my parents the kind of the life they've created surrounding this business, it kind of just made sense to me. Everything just was there for me. It's a bit like the business in the box that I could grab a hold of and really make something of. So just to give you a quick kind of idea about the amount of fun that I've been having with this business, in the last 6 months alone, I've been to 4 international conventions, all with thousands of people at, one in Germany, one in Dubai, and two in Liverpool, actually, all with team and friends of mine that are also doing the business. And the amount of fun that we've had whilst working an online business just completely makes sense to me in this modern age.
Brilliant. Thanks for sharing that, Charlie. I mean, I think it is...
Sorry if there was any more noise there.
No, that was fine. No, it's better than I expected. So that's good. So it is lovely. I mean, we've been in the business, as I said, 16 years. My husband's been in for over 26 years. But now seeing this younger generation coming in and seeing them bring something completely different is just really fantastic. So thanks for sharing that, Charlie. So the next part is my pleasure now to introduce our presenter for this evening. And Howard Frisch is a fantastic member of our team who's already got a growing team. He's been in the business for 4 years, but more than that, Howard has become a very good personal friend of ours. And it's great to be able to work with Howard. We speak, if not daily, probably every other day on the phone. And it's just fantastic to be able to work with people that have got the same. I think that's what we come from very, very different and diverse backgrounds, our whole team. But I think what brings us together is that common goal, because we all want to make a difference. We all want to make an impact to other people's lives. And I think that is our strong common bond. And I know certainly with Howard, we've got a very strong bond. And, our mission of helping to inspire healthy living around the world is very, very strong. So what I think is fantastic with Howard, he's come from, he's got his own business. He was a wholesale wine merchant. So if you need to know about wine, he's your go-to guy. But I know Howard is even more excited about the Juice Plus business and what that offers. So rather than me go on anymore, Howard, I'm going to invite you to unmute yourself and share your story and then carry on with your presentation of the slides.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. And I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everybody here this evening, and especially to our guests who are looking at this perhaps for the first time. A little bit, Michelle's already given a reasonably good version of my story. I started my own business as a limited company around 16 years ago. And it was around 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago, that an old friend of mine got in touch with me and reminded me about Juice Plus. I'd first came across this way back in the early 90s when Juice Plus was launched. But the timing was absolutely right for me when he called, because I realized I needed a plan B. And with regard to my plan A, when I started my business, I had to invest £30,000 of my own money, and a friend of mine had to invest £30,000 of his own money for us to buy a load of stock. And when I was shown that I could invest a mere £50 and not have to have stock, but could build an international business, it made me immediately want to look a lot more closely. So I did essentially my due diligence, and after a fairly rigorous check, I decided to actually throw myself in and get involved. So if we move on, we've got our first slide coming up here, and there it is. Welcome. So thanks for everybody for joining on. And moving on now to the Juice Plus franchise. So first of all, the one thing I really wanted to check was if I was even going to invest £50, let alone £30,000, I wanted to know that the partner I was going to be investing with had a track record and was solid. And if you look at this slide here, it sums it up very well. The company was founded nearly 50 years ago in Memphis in Tennessee, and everything that is behind it in terms of its credit rating, it is cash rich, it is debt free. Basically, it is solid as an elephant's foot. And that was incredibly reassuring when I was actually looking to expand my business. The company itself has turned over in excess of $13 billion over that time. And in fact, 2017 was the most successful year in the company's history, $820 million in turnover. And it is fully expected that by the year 2020, Juice Plus company will have become a $1 billion company. Moving to the next slide. The man who started the company is the man in charge today, this man, Jay Martin. He was a former school teacher, a man with a vision, and a man with a mission. And again, incredibly reassuring to us as franchise partners that here's a man and a company that wants to build a solid and long-lasting company that helps as many people as possible realize their dreams. Now, that could be for people who are customers, who simply want to get the health benefits from the products that are there. And we'll talk about those in a little while. But also for getting involved as a business partner, as a franchise partner, it gives me the opportunity to build something, and anybody in the business build something as big or as manageable as they want to, that fit around their lifestyle. That is the beauty of what we have here. Moving to the next slide. With the power of modern communications, we're talking now in several different countries across the internet. Many years ago, or not so long ago, we didn't have anything like this. We simply, if we wanted to speak to 100 people, we picked up the phone 100 times. Now, the internet and social media know absolutely no bounds at all. The company is active in 28 countries now. We launched in Dubai, in the UAE, in January last year, with the view to that being a springboard into the key markets of Asia. But now, with as I say, the power of the internet and social media, we're able to touch hundreds, if not thousands of people almost instantly. So that is what Michelle was saying a short while ago. There's a new generation of people for which the likes of me are learning how to actually utilize this incredible resource absolutely at its maximum. So we tend to think local because we tend to think of the people that we know close to us, but there really is the ability to touch people all around the world. And it's a wonderful experience to be able to do that. So if we move on, how do we actually make any money in this business? Initially, what we look to do is to create happy customers. And we do that simply by sharing our story. Not selling in the traditional sense of the word at all. We share the experiences that we've had with the products that we enjoy using on a day-to-day basis. And there will be people that we share that with that wish to actually try and experience it for themselves and see if they can actually derive the benefit as well. And on the strength of that, often as not, we get paid for those recommendations that our customers actually, we will receive referrals and we get paid for those recommendations. And people can build a steady and solid secondary income on a retail basis. However, if you want to develop things a little bit more, the idea is to then build a team. And by building a team, the company recognizes that by teaching other people to find and create happy customers, the company will pay us what we can describe as a networking commission. Essentially, it is a royalty, a very small percentage. And over time, that network will grow and that small percentage will become more and more meaningful. And as I inferred a second ago, our job, if we have a job at all, is to teach other people to do exactly that, to find and create happy customers and to build their own teams. And people can build a team as big or as small or as they want. There is absolutely no limit to that. So if we move to the next slide. It's an exciting company. It's an exciting business. And I'd like to hand over to somebody, again, who has become a very good friend of mine, Marcel Salazar, a healthcare professional. And Marcel, if you unmute yourself, perhaps you'd like to tell us not only your story, but where you're tuning in from this evening.
Of course, very happy to. Thank you so much for inviting me onto the call, and welcome and good evening, everyone. Really well said, by the way, Howard, there, excellent. So we're calling in from Malaga or southern Spain. We just moved here 5 months ago, and we are just loving it. Obviously, Alsha's here with me as well. She's going to say her bit in a moment, but she's being very silent for me. And I am a physical therapist, so I have my own business in southwest London. And I'm looking to develop it here. But the beauty of what we got involved with here is simply that we can bring the business wherever we are, wherever Juice Plus currently exists, which is any one of 26 countries. So it's very, very exciting. We've already begun here in that we have a team in the UK and we're building it over here as well. And basically the reason I got involved with this was very straightforward. I saw that there was a huge problem with, for example, my clients. In that, aside from the physical side that I was dealing with, their education and their nutrition was a huge problem. And this has basically facilitated not just them, but me and our family by implementing whole food nutrition and educating us, re-educating us really, in a way that we didn't expect. I'd like to credit my mother actually for giving me a newfound interest in nutrition and its importance. And so, you know, we are just absolutely loving the opportunity to share the business and the product and really impact people's lives very, very positively, which we do get feedback from on a regular basis, which is a very, very powerful thing.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Marcel. And as I say, we'll hear from Alshra in a minute or two. So moving on from there, if we can have the next slide. The business is absolutely meaningless without the products behind them. And I'm now going to give you a very quick overview on those particular products. Now, if you can look at the picture, dead center is what the company started with. You can see 3 plastic pots, a red one, a green one, and a purple one. And it was the red and green that 25 years ago, the company found a way of taking the very best quality produce, juicing it, removing the water, the sugar, and most of the fiber, and leaving basically the phyto or micronutrients, the living enzymes, the vitamins and minerals, and putting them in a capsule. And for me, that just made sense because, you know, whilst I tried to eat pretty healthily, inevitably with the busy lifestyle that I led, I was going to have good and bad days in terms of diet. But nutritionally, this covered the gaps. It filled the gaps perfectly, meaning that nutritionally, I had a good day every day. Now, when I came across the company again around 4 years ago, I figured that over 20 years, that product range will have been enhanced, and certainly it had. In addition to fruit and vegetables, they added berries, the purple pot that you see there. And those 3 pots contain no fewer than 29 different fruits, vegetables, and berries. Now, until such time as a study comes up saying that you need 30 a day, I know nutritionally I'm covered. That is very, very reassuring. Now, on the left-hand side, you'll see 3 pouches with those same colors, green, red, and purple. And they are a soft, chewable version designed principally for children, for younger children, whereby the powders are actually infused with a little bit of tapioca and cane syrup and essentially made into something akin to a wine gum, which a number of us will probably remember. So that's designed for younger children. They are rather delicious. There are older children that quite like them too. Now, on the right-hand side, a slightly different and perhaps our most versatile product are the 2 pouches that you see there, where it says Juice Plus Complete. The paler one being vanilla flavored and the other one being chocolate flavored. And this was produced a number of years ago in consultation with elite athletes as a means of actually getting a bioavailable plant-based protein into the body quickly and effectively. And by bioavailable, I mean the body recognizes it. And as a whole food supplement, that word whole food is absolutely key. It's not been synthesized in a laboratory. It is just what you get from the field. It is processed, or it is juiced, and then put inside a capsule for you to consume. Or in the case of the Complete, it's actually made into a plant-based protein powder, which is fantastic for both pre-exercise, post-exercise, but also because the fructose, the natural sugar, is put back in, there's around about 220 calories per serving, meaning that it can be used potentially as a meal replacement. Now, as part of a weight management program, be it to gain weight or indeed to lose weight, that has proved especially popular. In the front of those pouches, you can see 2 bars, which are also from the Complete range, a fruit bar and a chocolate bar, and that is a fantastic way of having healthy snacks on the move. It's absolutely ideal, very, very convenient, and very tasty as well. There's also a soup product that the company uses as well. So all in all, over the 20 or so years, it has become the best-selling whole food supplement that's out there, period. And it's been backed. The reason, as much as anything, is that we now have an evidence base backed by science. If we move to the next slide, here are some of the peer-reviewed journals in which the scientific studies and clinical studies, 38 in all, that have been published. And there are pharmaceutical companies, there are nutraceutical companies producing supplements that would give their eye teeth to have the evidence base that the Juice Plus company has. That's been exhaustive research, which is ongoing, is likely to top 40 by the end of this year in terms of the studies that have actually been tackled. And what do these studies tackle? Or what do they address? They talk about, or they demonstrate how Juice Plus is effective in dealing or addressing key health markers, things like oxidative stress, things like cardiovascular wellness, skin, blood vessels, DNA, that Juice Plus helps support these key health areas. Move on to the next slide. One additional study that has been carried out, and that's been carried out by the company around 15 years ago, the company took a view on kids' nutrition. Now, they realized that they weren't able to actually resolve the issues with regard to things like childhood obesity, poor school meals, or bad diets generally. They thought, what can we do to actually help and assist people? And they came up with a really interesting idea. They basically said, if an adult, and it was usually a parent, committed to Juice Plus for 1 year, they could sponsor a child whereby the child in question received Juice Plus, be it the capsules, be it the soft chewables, the gummies, absolutely free, gratis, nothing, for nothing. And what they found, that very quickly, they found some interesting things, and you've probably read some of the key points there. They found that people, or that kids, were more aware of their own health, what was good, what was bad. They found that they were eating more fruits and vegetables and less processed food, that they were drinking more water and less fizzy drinks. As a result of that, they were visiting the doctor less and going to school more. Their productivity was improving. And therefore, they were also taking fewer in the way of over-the-counter drugs. Now, I don't have children, but when I looked at this and realized that I could actually offer this to my friends and family who actually had children of their own, and realizing that those children could have this for nothing, it was a key part in my decision making. So let's hear. I think we heard from Marcel a short while ago, and behind every good man there's a very, very good woman, and that's certainly no exception here. Ausra, would you like to come on, unmute yourself, and share your story with regards to why you love these products?
Yes, of course. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much, Michelle and Howard, for having us here tonight. And yes. I have, my name is Ausra, I'm pharmacist by profession, and we always laugh how I take this because I actually told Marcel off for buying Juice Plus product, and because I didn't know what it is, and I did compare it with cheap multivitamins in a pharmacy, and I said I can get cheaper products, and but it was there, and I started taking it. And to my big surprise, obviously I work in a very busy pharmacy of 2 children. So I always was very low energy, always super tired. And very soon, probably in 6 to 8 weeks of taking the product, I started feeling much more energetic, feeling better. Although we've always been eating relatively healthy, I still felt big difference. So that made me think that it's something different, and I started looking into the product itself. I did my research, and all the scientific background really blown my mind away. And obviously I've learned that it's not a synthetic multivitamin, it's a whole food in a capsule. And forward 6 months ahead, my skin improved. I used to suffer with acne, and I used to also suffer with cold sores. So I'm not getting those anymore. And our children are on children's health studies, so they're getting gummies, and they are in a great health. And we joined the business as well, so we have a lot of very happy customers that improved health so much. And as a pharmacist, I get to see every single day a lot of people suffering with illness caused by bad eating habits and diet. So I could see that how so many people could benefit from adding whole food nutrition. So for me, my products, they are like a health insurance, and I know I'll take them for as long as I can.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing. And one thing I would just add in terms of the product is a new product that actually became available in October last year, and my other half and I and a few others have been able to experience this for a little bit longer, and that's a plant-based omega oil, or a series of omega oils addressing the key omega fatty acid deficiency that humans have, because we are unable to produce omega oils ourselves. So that was introduced last year, and I was thinking when I saw this for the first time, was it something that I could do? Is it something that I could actually do? And then I remembered this particular slide with perhaps one of our greatest entrepreneurs, the greatest entrepreneur that this country's ever produced, Richard Branson. And he basically says that if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not 100% sure that you can do it, just say yes and learn how to do it later. And the great thing is, in this business, you're not on your own. You work with people who have an interest in your success, that are happy to invest their time, their expertise, their knowledge and their experience to ensure that you can build a business as big or as large as you want. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you've enjoyed, and it's provoked some curiosity and some intrigue. And I'll hand you now back to Michelle.
Thank you very much. That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you to Marcel and Ausra and Charlie and Howard. That was great. Can I just say, if you're on this call, could you just check that you are actually muted? There's quite a lot of background noise, so somebody needs to mute themselves, please. Thank you. So, just before we finish up, we're almost at the end of the call. So I would like to introduce you to somebody that has been in the business for probably one of the longest serving Juice Plus team ever. And it's my husband. So I'm just going to invite him to come and join me here. And Gordon has been in the business, as I said, for 26 years. His background was that of an accountant, but he saw something in the business that would give him the time freedom that he didn't have in his traditional job. And that was, as I said, 26 years ago. He's a top PMD within the company. And I'm just going to hand over to Gordon, because we are quite often asked the same question. So for a lot of you on the call for the first time, I'm sure some of the questions now that Gordon is going to answer are perhaps the same questions that you've already had in your mind.
Okay, thank you, Michelle, and welcome to everybody to the call. Just to add what Michelle said, 26 years ago when I looked at this, I wasn't quite sure whether or not I could actually do this. But what I did see, that here was an opportunity of actually working for 3 to 5 years, quite hard work, but building something that would pay you for the rest of your life. And I'm glad to say now, 26 years later, I get paid from 24 of the 27 different countries that Juice Plus operate in, because we built a team of people that span all those countries, and that's the exciting bit. And we're excited today, more so than we ever were before. But just as Michelle said, there's another couple of things that I'd just like to share with you in terms of some of the things. Perhaps a couple of things in the business. I kind of first of all looked to see, was this something I could do? And Howard mentioned this, that there's a plethora now of information out there, whether it's books, whether it's videos, whether it's an online course, and also whether it's your people that have introduced you in terms of your sponsor that will actually help and teach and train you, that you can learn from these people. So that you're never alone in this business. You're building a business independently, but you've got a kind of whole load of people, a support group there. And that was something that was very important to me. The other thing was, did I have the time to do it? Because I was full on in my accountancy job. I had to work long hours. But what I did see was that I would only get paid a relative amount equal to the amount of time that I put in. What I saw with this was that over a period of time, I would be rewarded by putting that time into initially. I'd get paid a small amount, but over the years, my kind of time commitment would be less and I would get paid more because I would actually manage to leverage other people's time. And that was kind of very important to me. And as I said, I'm glad to say, as Michelle said, that we're down in Portugal. We're able to enjoy a lifestyle, but work at the same time because we've got so many team people working and building their dream in many ways. The other thing that came across with me, and when I approached my friends, the first thing they said, Gordon, sounds like a bit of a pyramid. And, I was kind of shocked to hear it to start off with, but this is so far removed from a pyramid because pyramids, first of all, are illegal. It's a criminal offence to do anything that involves a pyramid. And the scheme of the pyramid selling was that nobody ever sold anything. It was actually moving product from one person to the other, increasing the price. So products went down the chain, if you like, and money went up. With our business, as Howard said, 2017, we turned over $820 million. 85 to 90% of that was to end consumers who knew nothing about our business. We don't get paid for recruiting people into our organization. We get paid for finding customers and teaching and training people how to do exactly the same as us. So we're far removed from where we are. The last thing I'd just like to mention in terms of that is, the products themselves. Can I try the product? People always ask me that, can I try the product? And really, as Howard said, we've got 37 different scientific studies that back up the efficacy. Nutritional essence takes time to get within your body. It's not something, it's a quick fix. I've been on Juice Plus for 25 years now. And, it's something that I feel that I wouldn't be without. So, you're not going to experience that by a free trial. So that's just some of the questions hopefully that, we've managed to answer, and I've managed to answer that I've had over the years, and I'll hand you back to Michelle.
Thank you very much, Gordon. So that's us really wrapping up now. I just want to thank you all very much for your time. And I'm just trying to move on my slide. And I'm just going to say, when we get to this stage, I would say just ask yourself a couple of questions. Because what we're looking at is not only a healthier lifestyle, but it's a wealthier lifestyle. And ask yourself, have I seen enough to get me excited to join today? And quite often I ask somebody, look at that question and sort of think to yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, yes, I'm ready to sign up now, where do I sign? And 1 or 2 being really not very interested. You know, it's a good question to ask yourself, because, and I like to go back to or I'd like you to go back to the person that invited you to join the call, just for you to share that information with them, because it kind of gives us a guide to how much more information we need to give you. So just ask yourself that question, but also ask yourself, who do I know that wants to make a positive impact? Who do you know that wants to help people, not only with their health, but with their finances? And as I said earlier, you know, our common goal is one of making a difference. You know, we all come together with the fact that we have been able to impact so many lives, so many families with their health and with their finances to make a difference. And I'd just like to say to you, you know, if you decide to join us in the next 48 hours, you'll get a free mentoring call with one of our top leaders. So with Gordon or with James Sanderson. So James Sanderson has been in the business almost 28 years. And these guys, you know, Gordon alluded, you know, their businesses span, you know, probably 25, 26 different countries. They've built an enormous organization, and this will really, really help you get your business off to a flying start. So I'm going to end there. Please, please go back to the person that invited you. Know that that person invited you to take a look at this because they believe in you. They believe that you can do this business. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I hope you've got something from it, and I'll say good night to you all. Good night. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.